Okay, so this question's talking about a rectangle, has a length of 2 to the power of t and a width of the root of 8, take away the root of 2, and it's got an area. So again, words, so sketch a picture, give yourself a feel for what's going on. So it has a length of 2 to the power of t and a width of the root of 8, take away the root of 2. Area of 64. So we recognise this is about area. So we know that we're going to be doing 2t times the root of 8, take away the root of 2, and that's got to give us an answer of 64. Now, what we should recognise with this is there's loads of things going on here. We've got some surds, the roots of things. We've got some powers of 2, and we've got a number of 64. Well, we've got to start getting connections here. I'd simplify down the bracket first because we recognise that this root 8 can be simplified to the root of 4 times the root of 2. So root of 4 is 2, so that's 2 root 2. So I can now rewrite this as 2 root 2's take away a root 2 equals 64. Well, 2 root 2's take away root 2 is just root 2. So we've now got 2 to the power of t times a root of 2 equals 64. Well, we've got to recognise here that we've got powers of 2. Both of these are powers of 2. It's the root is, so we've got 2 to the power of t times 2 to the power of a half. Now it looks like, because these are working in powers of 2, the best thing to do with 64 is turn it into a power of 2. So 64 is 2 to the power of 6. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times is 64. From our laws of indices, we should recognise here, because we've got two same base numbers of 2 and we are multiplying, then the law says we can add the powers. So basically we've got 2 to the power of t plus a half is the same as 2 to the power of 6, and because we've got an equals, they equate to each other, so the two powers must equate to each other. So we can rewrite this as t plus a half must equal 6, so t must be worth 5.5. So t equals 5.5. So again, something that looked quite complicated. We draw a picture to get a feel of what's going on. We know that area is length times the width. We recognise that we've got different types of values going on in here, so we simplify down, recognising that surds have this little property of simplifying by finding a square number that goes into something and then simplify it out. Substitute back in, simplify down, recognising that these are both powers of 2, turn 64 into a power of 2, and then because we've got times in with the same base numbers of 2, we can add the two powers and then equate, get the answer. So that's an example of using surds and the laws of indices to find out missing values.